What's up guys, this is Sean and welcome to another episode of the iherng podcast, and today we will answer a question from Karen Wang because she's from London. Thanks very much for your generosity in sharing such valuable information on your YouTube vlogs. It is my pleasure to be a subscriber. I live in London, but I have ties to KL. I would appreciate if you could answer a couple of questions. Number one, my late mother has left me and my brother her condo in Taman Seputeh, which has been on the market for almost 2 years. I have lived there on holidays and find it to be a nice neighborhood. Although it is 20 plus years old, the unit and the development has been maintained pretty well. I'm aware of the current soft property market. Is it worth modernizing the unit or simply reduce the asking price in order to get it sold? It's Robson condominium, 1,400 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2 bathrooms, 1 car park space. Number 2, I discovered your vlogs a little too late. Only after my partner, which is a Malaysian, and I bought a small Prima unit which we are anxiously waiting for VP. This would be our holiday home and eventually our retirement home as well. I looked into the Makeover Guys, but I think their services would be overkill for us as I will move much of the furnishings and appliances from Robson. However, I intend on selecting a contractor to build cabinets, wardrobes, and install electrical appliances. I have already sketched out ideas of what I want to achieve. Thanks to you, I plan on hiring a professional defect inspector. I have googled a few names, however, can you recommend someone? I can only imagine how busy you are, and I hope you can find the time to reply. Thank you very much in advance. Kind regards, Karen Wang. So first of all, Karen Wang, thank you very much for the email, and it means a lot, even if it's from London, right? Wow. Glamour way. Just to recap, the first question is there's a unit, Robson condominiums. Now the sisters and brothers all want to sell the unit, but very long already cannot sell. So what can they do, right? So I would suggest to do a few things. Number one is to check the latest transacted price. Many people may refer to property portals such as iProperty, Property Guru, or Prop Social for the selling price. Actually, that's the asking price. Generally, that's the asking selling price, meaning like, oh, today I want to sell what price, I just put it up there also. Not necessarily is the transacted. For transacted data, you go to this website called brickz, B-R-I-C-K-Z, or Z. Z is for US. Anyway, so you go to this website and you can see the latest transacted data inside, and that gives you a rough estimation of why your property cannot sell. Some of the time it's due to demand, right? Meaning there's just not enough demand there, but I think any properties, right, will have that right price. So while waiting, I may suggest you to also try and rent it out. Because since it's a nice neighborhood, right, and the price that you guys are having is actually an old price. I don't know what's the arrangement with your other siblings, right? But now, if it's possible, let's say while you are waiting to sell, you can actually rent it out first. But maybe the rental rates is not as good. Yep, so I just briefly keyed in iProperties, right? And you can see Robson condominium in Seputeh itself. 1,004 is around 638,000. Some is 715,000, right? But then it's actually furnished, fully furnished. And the general rental there that you can get is 2,006. And I would suggest, not because I'm with the Makeover Guys, but maybe you can get a makeover, right? Then you can actually rent out your unit. It means, right, let's say a 2,006 average, right? And I'm pretty confident that we can get a higher rental. I would suggest after checking brickz, right? Second is to actually go and click into the Makeover Guys Facebook page and get help from one of our consultants, and they will run an analysis of your property. It means that if fully furnished, what will be the rental rates like? Because that will somewhat help your property in terms of attractiveness. It means, right, let's say maybe we rent out 3,000 or maybe even 3,500, I don't know. Then if you really furnish up the place and you get a 3,500 monthly income, and I think since it's passed by your late mother to your siblings, right, that will actually be an income, right? A 36, let's say if it's 3,000, it's a 36,000 income per year. You minus off 1 month management and things like that. So it's like, maybe it's like 33,000 a year, which is like pretty solid as well. So I suspect asking price for you to sell may be very high. Number two, there's new condominiums around, which means that I think there's a new launches by explicitly and things like that, right? That might affect the price of your condo itself, because new condos, right, youngsters are more prone to buy new condos because it's way more affordable. And if your unit is not done up well, after I purchase your unit, I still need to put in a lot of effort in getting everything fixed. So the amount of capital outlay for youngsters who wants to move in, right, become less. The tendency for youngsters now all moving to new properties. And if the new property price is actually sabotaging this condo's price, then I think you need to do something with your properties. I would strongly suggest for you to get my consultants in just to run the analysis. It's free. Then to see what you can do. Let's say if you put in a 30,000 or 40,000 ringgit, the property looks amazing now and you get it rented out. That indirectly also buys time for the property to actually increase in price, or maybe you can even sell with tenancy. And the last resort, right, the last resort is to actually sell below market value. It's the only plan that you should consider if you really need the cash very fast. If your siblings are in a rush for money or they really need money urgently, cash urgently, right, then it's going to be pretty tough, because even if you sell, you can only get the full amount of money in like 6 to 8 months time if everything is working effectively despite CMCO. Question 2 is you got a Prima unit that you want to stay, right? Congratulations. Then you think that our services are overkill. I do agree though, because not every time you need to furnish your house so amazingly, right? But good news, we have just launched, because we developed really hard during this MCO period. We came out with a new concept called Simplicity. It's a more affordable range that everyone can afford, and there's installment plans and things like that. I would suggest you to actually check it out, just for the sake to compare prices, because personally my theory is we are even comparable to DIY, which means I put in my own kitchen, I put in my own furnitures and things like that. Not necessarily our services will be more expensive, and the thing is it will be more hassle-free. I don't want to spend too much time on doing all this, but it's up to you lah. Okay, so maybe you can find out the price for your unit and maybe you do a comparison. And at the same time, maybe you can even slot in a free defect check for you and things like that. Wow, this episode sounds very hard sell. Anyway, I think that's all for this episode. So I think number one, if you find your property is very hard to sell, right? Nobody is buying your property. Number one, the price is too high, most probably lah. Number two, the condition of the house might not be very pleasant, so that might raise concern, because like the amount of money they need to spend to clean it up, then to fix it and things like that. And then third of all, there might be new buildings or new developments are surrounding you that are selling in a price where it's comparable to your unit itself. So one sub-sale, one new property, which one will youngsters choose? They will more likely go to the new property because of the capital outlay, the very heavy capital outlay for sub-sale properties. And as an owner, you are not making it any more attractive. A lot of people will think that, you come in, then you move out all the furnitures and you do it yourself lah. Those are the old days. So based on my experience, some people will actually do up the house, which means that they give it a fresh coat of paint just to excite the potential buyer that walks into the space. In the moment when I open the door, I need to feel good before I even consider whether to buy or not. So while doing that, you can also consider to rent it out first instead of taking it as a weekend home. So it depends whether how much capital you have right now. And if you do the math, if you don't know how to do, go to Makeover Guys and get that free consultation services, right? It's free, really it's free one. So they will analyze for you what you can do and how much budget you have and what are the financial services that we can actually provide, right? Just for you to make that informed decisions. What are the choices that I can make, right? Then for your own unit, maybe again, you can check out our latest line called Simplicity. It's targeting affordable range, right? Because I do agree that sometimes that one, my house don't need to be so nice lah. So in there, we can also slot in free defect services, and maybe you can hashtag Sean Tan Makeover for extra discounts. And that's all for this episode, okay? This one sounds like a sales pitch lah. Maybe I should take out less emails like this. Once again, thank you very much for sending this email. I really do appreciate the effort. And for those who still have any real estate questions, do just email me at TANIHERNG@gmail.com, or you just follow me at Instagram, iherng, and I'll answer as many questions as possible, because now also the workload is getting a bit crazy. So I think that's all. Thank you very much. See you guys on the next one.